Look at your hand. Touch the table in front of you. Recall your earliest childhood memory, the smell of your mother's perfume, or the sound of rain on the roof. You trust these things. You trust that the world around you is real, that your past actually happened, and that you are a biological organism living on a planet called Earth. But physics has a problem with that assumption. According to our best understanding of probability and entropy, none of this should exist. The universe is too complex. The history is too long. The odds of the Big Bang happening exactly the way it did, creating billions of galaxies and billions of years of consistent history, are mathematically infinitesimal. There is a much simpler explanation for your existence. It is a theory that terrified the physicists who discovered it. It suggests that you are not a human being. You do not have a body. You do not have a past. You are a single, disembodied brain, floating in the infinite void of space. And everything you are experiencing right now, this video, this room, your entire life history, is just a momentary hallucination caused by random particles bumping together. This is the Boltzmann brain paradox. And the scariest part isn't that it sounds like science fiction. The scariest part is that, statistically, it is more likely to be true than the reality you think you live in. To understand why, we have to talk about entropy. The second law of thermodynamics states that entropy always increases. Simply put, the universe moves from order to disorder, from structure to chaos. If you drop a glass, it shatters. The shards never spontaneously jump back together to form a glass. This means that high-order states, like a glass or a human body or a galaxy, are incredibly rare. They require a massive amount of energy and luck to maintain. Low-order states, like dust, gas, and empty space, are common. They are the natural state of things. In the late 19th century, the Austrian physicist Ludwig Boltzmann proposed a radical idea. He suggested that given enough time, eternity to be precise, random fluctuations in chaos will eventually create order. Imagine a box full of gas. Usually the molecules bounce around randomly. But if you wait 1 trillion years, purely by chance, all the molecules might clump into one corner for a split second. If you wait 1 trillion years, they might accidentally arrange themselves into the shape of a perfect clock. Boltzmann argued that our universe is just one of these rare, lucky fluctuations in an eternal, empty void. We are a pocket of order that spontaneously appeared out of the chaos. But there is a flaw in this logic, a flaw that breaks reality. If we are relying on random chance to create reality, we have to look at the cost of that creation. What is cheaper for the universe to build randomly? Option A, a massive universe containing billions of galaxies, trillions of stars, and an evolutionary history spanning 13.8 billion years, leading to the complex biological formation of billions of human brains. Or, Option B, a single brain spontaneously formed out of the void, complete with false memories of a universe that never existed? The math is brutal. Option B is infinitely more likely. It requires vastly less matter and vastly less energy to accidentally assemble one brain than to assemble an entire cosmos. Think of it like a monkey typing on a typewriter. The odds of a monkey accidentally typing the complete works of Shakespeare are low, but the odds of a monkey typing just one sentence from Shakespeare are much higher. You are the sentence. The universe is the complete works. Therefore, statistically, if you find yourself existing as a conscious observer, it is overwhelmingly probable that you are a Boltzmann brain. You just popped into existence 1 second ago. Your memories of childhood? Fake. Your knowledge of history? fake? This video? A hallucination. In the next second, your brain will dissolve back into the void, and you will cease to exist. But for this brief, flickering moment, you think you are alive. This leads us to the cosmological constant problem. Our universe seems to be heading toward a heat death. Eventually, all stars will burn out. All black holes will evaporate. The universe will become a dark, cold soup of particles expanding forever. This empty state will last for eternity. And in eternity, anything that can happen will happen. In that infinite darkness, quantum fluctuations will continue to ripple. Over eons, particles will bump into each other. Most of the time, they make nothing, but occasionally, they will form an atom. Occasionally, a molecule. And given infinite time, they will eventually form a working consciousness. Because the era of the heat death lasts forever, while the era of life, where we are now, is incredibly short, the vast majority of conscious observers in the history of space-time should be Boltzmann brains floating in the dark future, not biological humans living in the warm present. So, why do you believe you are real? You might say, because I can verify my surroundings. I can ask other people if they see what I see. But that's the trap. The other people are part of the hallucination. If your brain formed with the false memory of a friend, that friend feels just as real as a real friend. You cannot trust your senses, because your senses are just electrical signals, and those signals can be randomly arranged just as easily as the brain itself. This creates a state of cognitive instability. If the Boltzmann brain theory is true, then we cannot trust science. Because our memories of doing science, our memories of reading textbooks, doing experiments and learning logic, could also be false. If we are Boltzmann brains, then logic itself might be a delusion. Most physicists hate this theory. They call it a reductio ad absurdum, a proof that our current understanding of the universe must be wrong, because the conclusion is too ridiculous to accept. They are desperately looking for a reason why Boltzmann brains cannot form. They are trying to prove that quantum fluctuations don't work that way, or that the universe won't last forever. But so far, they haven't found a definitive solution. The math still points to the same terrifying conclusion. The fact that you perceive a consistent, orderly world is actually evidence against you being real. A real universe shouldn't be this perfect. A random hallucination, however, tends to follow the path of least resistance. It creates a narrative that makes sense to the observer, to keep the illusion going. So, look around the room again. Is it real? Or is it just the minimal amount of data required to convince you that you exist? Perhaps the only reason you are hearing this message right now is that the random particles in the void accidentally arranged themselves into a pattern that asks, "Are you listening?" And in a moment, the wind will blow, the particles will scatter, and the lonely God will go back to sleep.